Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fellow Nigerians. My name is Afis Keshinro. I'm a tourism practitioner, travel expert if you like. I want to talk about Nigerian tourism today. The merger of the culture and, of course, Ministry of Tourism merger prompted me to do this video. The first thing I would say that in Africa, Nigeria is not top 10 in tourism. We have countries like South Africa, Kenya, even Rwanda lately, Egypt, Morocco, all of them dominating the tourism scene in Africa. Even in West Africa, we are struggling. We're being daily flogged by the smaller countries. I really don't want to mention Ghana because Ghana has done quite a lot in the last 2-3 years, and I think they actually decimated us with the year of return which they did, which brought in not just tourism arrivals, it also improved, or let me say quadruple their economic scene. A lot of Americans, black diaspora, came to Ghana. They bought properties, they started business, they came to live in Ghana, and a whole lot of other things happened. Now, the fact is that Nigeria is too big not to, have a large chunk in the pie of world tourism. Normally we have over 200 million people. That itself is enough, to guarantee the success of our tourism. Yes, you might want to talk about poverty. You might want to talk about the fact that standard of living is low and people would not be interested in tourism. And that is if we are only putting our minds to vacations and big spendings. Tourism can be small things, but a lot of things that happen daily. Now, there are a lot of advantages that Nigeria have, and this is where I want to concentrate. There's no need to berate government officials to talk about how ineffectual that we have been the last 30 years with tourism. Possibly after First Act 77, we went to sleep. Well, the first thing is that Nigeria have about 250 million people. That's above 200 million people. And we have huge numbers of civil servants, both that work for the federal government and the state government, and they get leave allowance. So what are they doing with their leave allowances? It is meant for vacation. That in itself would put in billions of naira into Nigerian tourism. Hotels, destinations, taxis, transportation, food, and a whole lot of that. It's not meant for other things. That's one. Secondly, I must say that the way we take our tourism, we're not structured at all. How many arrivals for tourism? How many arrivals for business? Are we thinking about converting those also to tourism? When somebody walks into Nigeria, at the airports, they fly in and they come for business because they have heard a whole lot of things about Nigeria. Nigeria is not safe. There's Boko Haram, there's this and that. That's a big lie. Yes, there's terrorism in some part of the country, kidnapping. But which countries doesn't have all of those? Kidnapping in America, that's true. You have gun violence in schools, and if you look at data very well, only uninformed people will say that America or some other countries are better. People still go to Mexico in spite of all of those things happening in Mexico. Why? Because they have been able to do their public relations well. For Nigeria, only bad news gets to the media. And it's unfortunate that even Nigerians are not readily happy to share good news about their countries. When they see something bad, they are happy to rush to the internet and post it. God-forsaken countries, they write a whole lot of things. They send, negative videos. In within an hour, it has reached millions of views. But if it is something positive, Nigerians don't share it. To use the local balance, you are doing yourself. Whether you are in diaspora, whether you live locally, the bad news that you're sharing about your country. This is not about hating any politician. You cannot hate your country. You are your country. Nigeria is a good country. Nigerians need to do better. So do not hate Nigeria. Collectively, as Nigerians, we need to do better. So putting in good words for your country is for your own good. Your cousin, even your parents, your friends, they are losing jobs, they are losing income because of what you say. I belong to a whole lot of groups internationally, travel groups, and they ask me, should we come to Nigeria? We heard this, we heard that, and I tell them, the same way you heard about gun violence in New York or some other places, it's the same like that here. Yes, we have pockets, and I'm not trying to undermine the seriousness of, Boko Haram and all the other things happening. But that is not the entire Nigeria. Nigeria is not at war. Nigeria is not at war. So places that they can come and they're safe, there are many, they are countless. Okay? So what I'm saying in essence is every Nigerian should see themselves as the public relation officer of their country. Say good things about your country. So I say you're going to Nigeria and they say shine your eyes, don't lose guard, make sure you don't do this, make sure you don't do that, don't go at night, don't do this. Why? I've lived in Nigeria for more than 4 decades, so I can tell you. And I think this is sometimes common with diasporans. They readily, talk down the countries, and with that feeling of, I have escaped. You have not escaped. Your families are here. Your friends are here. So, why are you always happy, to say things that are not in good light about your country? So that's for all Nigerians. You are the chief promoter of your country. If you say good things about your country, I'm not saying lie, but say good things about your country. Your friends, you probably have like 10, 20, 30 friends, and they know that your country is good. There's high possibility. So you have a ripple effect. They say this to their friends and all of that. So it's good. Now we have things like Yahoo boys and all the internet fraud and all of that. But the thing is, Nigeria is not number one. But we're quick to make ourselves seem like we're the worst. India, Russia, those countries, they're number one. First-hand information, I have witnessed it. So, what are we talking about? But any film or whatever that they will talk about fraudsters, they will use Nigeria. Why? Right. So the second thing is, when people come to Nigeria, they fly into the airport. There's nothing to show that we're serious about tourism. No desk. For example, you could have a VR place where people go to, have a feel of what they can actually do in Nigeria. And if they're going to spend 5-6 days, they would make sure they get to some places. Information desk about your tourism. You have a lot of advertisement as, billboards, a lot of things that they can see, and they will think, oh, okay, I can do quite a lot here. We don't have anything like that. We need to do that in our major airport, please. Government should do something like that. Like I said, it's solution I'm looking for. All right. Now, you have a whole lot of superstars in sports. Osimhen is there, Lukman is there. I mean, he was at the Ballon d'Or. I mean, you have music icons, Davido, Burna Boy, Wizkid, the rest of them. Why are you not using them? They are Nigerians. They are happy to promote their country. But have you, spoken to them about this thing? Have you made them to believe that they have a lot they can do for their country? How about an event putting all of these people together in December? We have Dirty December, which is locally done by ourselves. I mean, so we have events like this, big events, it's not just government, individuals, and it's the largest concert. We've got all of the artists, I tell you. So the largest concert in Africa, people would travel to come and watch all of these people. Now, you can use them for PR to tell people come to Nigeria. Help them do their musical videos in Nigeria, whatever you need to promote. And, people watching the videos all over the world, we know that, okay, this video was done in Nigeria and these are the locations. And, they get to take Nigeria serious. Our film industry, the government needs to put a whole lot of money to promote Nigeria. You need to change the narrative. The government needs to do that. We're not a country of Yahoo boys. We're not a country of witches and wizards. We're not a country of Babalawo and Juju. That's not who we are. We're not a country of people who are crazy about money. No. There are wonderful things about us. We should tell plenty stories that are positive about us. And that is one thing America does best. They think they just push all of those films in Hollywood. There's a government hand in all of it. You watch a film and America is superpower, and they're talking about a whole lot of things, and in your mind they're imprinting that America is the biggest power in the world, and you would believe it. Yes, you would believe it. It's the power of the media. The government should do something like that for Nigeria image, because the image is important. Now, beyond all of this, there are a whole lot of things that you can also do. Governments, the ministry especially, can partner with hotels for zero cost. Hotels, transport companies, and destinations. And they can bring in about every month, maybe 20 YouTubers, travel video YouTubers, who would come to Nigeria, and show the world what Nigeria can offer. So the hotel comes free to you. The transport companies take them. The hotels feed them. You can have some other funds, of course. The airline, talk to Airpeace. They would do something, I believe, or some other airlines. Or you have to work out something. You at least have to spend something. Some of these things would help, because these are more important than that 30 seconds advert you put on CNN. I'm telling you, or the one on BBC or Al Jazeera. The age of internet is here. So we should concentrate a lot more on that. Tayo, I know, is doing wonderfully well, but I've not seen the government talk to him. That's the area he can help. Bring in all these other people that he knows across the world, and they can promote Nigeria. There are other things that you could do. Bring in people. I'm talking about tour operators, or call them travel experts in the travel industry, from America, from Europe. Bring them to Nigeria. Give them a farm tour. Why are you doing that? You are concentrating majorly on bringing black diasporans to Nigeria, because Nigeria is the headquarters of all black people, the largest black nation in the world. Right. So, if you bring tour operators from the Caribbeans, because that's, they are from Africa, target the African Americans who are from Africa, target people from Cuba, people from Brazil in South America, and a whole lot of South American countries. Target them, bring them here, let them see what they can do. And they go back and sell packages. You link them up with their Nigerian counterparts. Of course, we don't have that kind of vibrant Nigerian tourism website that we really give a whole lot of information, great videos, list of tour operators based in Nigeria, places that people can go, and a vibrant social media. We don't have it. We're just hoping that one day we would wake up and everything will work out well. No. We have to sit down and plan these things properly. Where do we want to be in 4 years? What do we want to achieve in year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4? What are the things that we can achieve immediately? What are the ones that we can defer? We need to have that. And marketing is very important. We're not marketing Nigeria at all. The marketing is left to few individuals who don't have up to $1,000 as budget for their adverts. I'm talking about people like me, small time, who just want to get maybe about 20 people from abroad every year as part of the business for local tourism. So you're forced to concentrate on taking people to Paris, taking people to Niagara Falls, Dubai, Qatar, because those people have done a whole lot of marketing. And even you, as an expert in the industry, you're advising your people to go there. Because, of course, you need to make money. You need to keep body and soul. All right? And the most annoying part of all of those things is that the over 200 million people that we have, if you do a census, or if you ask people to list 10 places that they can have vacations or they can visit in Nigeria across the country, not just the zone that they are, they won't be able to tell you. And this is because the homework has not been done. We don't know. It's not in the curriculum. The rivers in Africa is what we've learned. What are the river falls that we have in Nigeria, which is the highest mountain, highest peak in Nigeria. The highest peak in West Africa is actually in Nigeria, but who knows that? And it is high time we also look at how budget allocations are spent wisely. The people in the industry must begin to scrutinize how much has been budgeted for culture and tourism as it is now. How did you spend it? We should be able to have a meeting with them, because all of these things affect us as Nigerians, as businessmen. All right? And there are a whole lot of other things, like what is the partnership between Nigerian banks and the tourism people? I know one or two banks are trying their best. I don't want to mention names, but they know themselves. They're doing quite well. They're ready. They're willing. They're showing interest. They've been participating. People want to build tourism centers. People want to buy equipment, they're not able to do it. And Nigerians are fun-loving people, So, what we must do is try as much as possible, collectively, let people see us as good people. Let our country be seen as a good country. Let our country be seen as a safe country. It is essential. Otherwise, we would lose and continuously lose billions that are supposed to come here. And Benin Republic is taking a whole lot of you. Nigerians are not going to Benin Republic for holiday. Just dash across the border and you're there. It's the same thing. They have beaches. But of course, the way you program the minds of people, is important. So, we need to do plenty so that in 5 years' time, we would know that, our tourism arrivals have increased by 20%, 30%. Okay, we have this number coming from Brazil, we have this number coming from Cuba, we have this number coming from United States, we have this number coming from Panama, we have this number coming from South Africa. That's the way it should be. And then if we see a country failing or a certain continent, then we begin, okay, so what do we do? All I see about our tourism right now is jamboree. The minister goes for events, occasion, that's not what it is. You are a facilitator. You are supposed to help businesses. You are supposed to set up, strategies that would help to develop. All I see is that we are a sleeping giant. So, I'm hopeful. Now that we have merged culture and tourism ministries, I'm hoping that we would do better. I'm hoping that we would infuse culture into our tourism, because essentially what we can sell is our uniqueness. You can't sell a 100-story building like they're doing in Dubai. They have something unique, which is all of these, the desert safari, the camel rides, and all of these other things, which, they have infused into it. But of course, they want to do something extraordinary. And that brings me to a lot of the things that we have. What are we doing about it? The monuments that we have. There's nothing special about anything. You've got Olumọ Rock, for example. I go to Olumọ Rock, I climb it and come down. What's special? They give me a story around it. So what other things? If I go to Olumọ Rock and I spend like 5 hours and go back and come back the next day and do something new. I was at the National Museum at Ibadan the other day. We arrived with my clients, 5 of them from the UK. And we got there around 9:30 a.m. Still in darkness. We entered. It was there. The gate man was locked down in the opening. The staffs were just strolling in, and then I had to leave the clients and go and look for how, they will attend to us. Till we finished the tour, the light didn't come up. We ran the tour with phone touch lights, with no lights, and then before we could actually get somebody to take us around, they were pushing it. It was Mrs. A's duty. It's Mr. B's duty. She's not here yet. I'm not going to, do it on her behalf. She's used to that. I'm not supposed to hear all of that. And when we got there was no setup. Everything, no, that's not how to do it. And that's government. If you don't know how to do these things, because I see that the civil servants are a major problem to tourism. But like I said, I do not want to go into that. so that it doesn't look like I'm here to blame on the video. But the truth must be said, the civil servants and the politicians are major issues. So the president needs to make sure that this works, because the job creation that we are screaming about, this can provide hundreds of thousands of jobs within a year or two. And it can provide huge, tax for the government, tourism tax from hotels, from a whole lot of other areas. And why not allow the insurance people cash in also? You're coming into Nigeria for tourism, you get an insurance, Nigerian Tourism Insurance. That should run into some billions every year as well, where if we get our acts together. So I'm hoping that we would change the narrative, that together we would work hard and look at some of his advice and change things for the better. I remain Afis Keshoro. Bye bye, and God bless Nigeria.